Police released pictures of a man they say robbed this Chase Bank and used a stun gun on the teller.
We are tracking more scattered showers and thunderstorms out there again this afternoon, and those chances continue right into the weekend. I'll take a closer look for you.
A former Republican House Speaker is indicted, and mystery surrounds his alleged misconduct. I'm Craig Boswell on Capitol Hill with reaction to the charges.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. Happy Friday to you. We have a lot of news that we're covering today, but first, a few showers and storms are starting to pop up on the First Alert Defender. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell is tracking where the rain is right now in the First Alert Weather Center. How about it, mister?
And we are tracking it. You're right. Numerous showers, thunderstorms showing up right now, especially out across eastern sections of Kentucky, and a little bit of it now working its way through central Kentucky as well. There's Defender, and you can see a little bit of lightning associated with some of these. And as a matter of fact, we'll go check out one of the most intense areas that we could find. Has some lightning associated with it right now over top of the folks there in Owingsville, right along Interstate 64 as well, and will continue to lift more toward the northeast over the next couple of hours if that can hold together. And any shower or thunderstorm that gets going is generally trending in those directions. We look around Lexington as well. You go down toward Nicholasville, you're finding another little heavy area of precipitation. No lightning associated with it, not detecting any at least at this moment, and we go back 15 minutes. When you see those lightning strikes, that means that it happened within the past 15 minutes, so not seeing any out of that. Just a good heavy downpour and some gusty winds, but it is drifting into parts of Fayette County. Our temperature situation out there right now is kind of mixed. The reason being those showers and storms. You can see where they are. Look at Somerset. Been raining around there. There's 70 degrees. However, not so much there in London, 84 degrees. So there's a 14-degree swing from one county to the next. Here in Lexington, we're around 80 degrees. We had some showers and storms pass by our area a little bit earlier. More chances are coming their way this weekend. We'll take a closer look at that coming up in just a few minutes, Amber.
All right, thank you, sir. A frightening situation today for a teller at a Lexington bank. She ended up being shocked with a stun gun by a robber. Police quickly surrounded the Chase Bank off Richmond Road, searching for the suspect. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy talked to the investigating officers to track down new developments in the case. It's our top story at 4.
Police say the man who went inside Chase Bank jumped over to the divider and used a stun gun on the teller. Around 9:40 this morning, officers say a black man with dreadlocks around 5 feet 9 inches tall with a thin build, wearing a gray jacket, green pants, a green backpack, a hat and sunglasses and a mask, came into the Chase Bank off Richmond Road, jumped across the gate that divides customers from employees, and demanded cash. Officers say he had a stun gun and that he used it on a teller. Officers who responded believe that man ran toward the back of the bank in the direction of the Chop House, a restaurant less than a block away.
We had units setting up in the area, and K9 was called in, but we did lose the track in the area of Gribbon Drive.
Management at Chase Bank tells us that the teller attacked is seeing a doctor right now. In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
And employees at the bank also told us that the teller did not return to work today. After the attack, they gave her the day off. A third man charged in the murder of a Lexington pizza delivery driver faced a judge today. 22-year-old Trey Relford entered a not guilty plea to murder, robbery, and evidence tampering charges. Lexington police arrested him last night. The victim, 22-year-old Salahuddin Jitmood, was delivering pizza to an apartment on Trent Circle last month. Police found him stabbed to death in the breezeway. Antonio Lewis and Cameron McClellan are also charged in that case. It will be Matt Bevin and Jack Conway going head-to-head to become the next governor of Kentucky this fall. James Comer called Bevin this morning to concede after a recanvass yesterday showed no change in results from election night. Today, Bevin addressed the media to talk about his plans moving forward to the November election. You're going to hear more from him coming up at 5. And we are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. 2 more suspects accused of being involved in the theft of some rare Kentucky bourbon answered to the charges in court today. It was the arraignment for Mark Searcy, a former Wild Turkey employee who's accused of helping Gilbert Kurtzinger steal barrels of bourbon. A second man, Dustin Atkins, was also arraigned today. Indictments say that Atkins knew the alleged theft ringleader, Gilbert Kurtzinger, through softball. WKYT's Victor Puente was in court for that hearing this morning. He'll update us at the top of the hour at 4:30. A man convicted in a deadly carjacking says he is sorry. A judge sentenced Joel Searcy to 25 years in jail today. A jury found him guilty of manslaughter for contributing to the death of 82-year-old Donald Leroy Cook during a carjacking in August of 2013. You'll hear Searcy's apology in a report on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. And a Kentucky woman is reaching out to the public in hopes of finding the driver who caused an accident that nearly took her life. Alana Hale says a car hit hers in Grayson County back in March, running her off the road. A man pulled her just out before it burst into flames. She shares her story about why she's offering a reward in the case ahead at 4:30. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. A former lawmaker who was second in line to the presidency is charged in a 2-count federal criminal indictment accused of lying to the FBI and violating banking laws. As Craig Boswell reports, federal prosecutors say former GOP House Speaker Dennis Hastert of Illinois broke the law while he paid hush money to someone from his past.
From Capitol Hill to Dennis Hastert's hometown of Yorkville, Illinois, the allegations against the former GOP House Speaker have left people stunned.
We've known Dennis Hastert even personally for 40 years. We're very surprised, very, very surprised.
A federal indictment accuses Hastert of breaking banking laws, then lying to the FBI about why he was withdrawing large amounts of cash. Prosecutors say in 2010, Hastert met with and agreed to pay a person identified only as Individual A $3.5 million to keep quiet about prior misconduct. The indictment does not detail the misconduct, but says Individual A is from Yorkville, Illinois, where Hastert taught high school and coached wrestling from 1965 to 1981. Illinois Senator Mark Kirk served in the House while Hastert was Speaker. He said in a statement, anyone who knows Hastert is shocked and confused by the indictment. The FBI launched an investigation last year after banks reported the withdrawals. Hastert told agents he was taking the money out because he didn't trust the banking system. The 73-year-old faces up to 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine for each of the 2 counts. He was the longest-serving Republican House Speaker and was second in line to the presidency from 1999 to 2007. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Officials in the Yorkville School District say they've never received any reports of past issues. On Thursday, Hastert resigned from the Washington lobby firm where he's worked since he left Congress. He also resigned from the Board of Advisors of Wharton College's J. Dennis Hastert Center for Economics, Government, and Public Policy. Another night of rain in Texas triggered more flash flooding and more water rescues. Rising floodwaters caught many drivers by surprise, forcing them to abandon their vehicles. As the floodwaters recede in some areas, the number of deaths is rising. The death toll from recent storms in Texas and Oklahoma now stands at 25. Today marks a significant milestone in the recovery of Lower Manhattan since the attacks of September 11th. The observatory at One World Trade opened to the public, offering heart-stopping views from the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. It's expected to draw visitors from around the world, and it holds special meaning for some of the family members who lost loved ones in the Twin Towers. The embattled president of soccer's governing body was elected to his 5th term despite U.S. officials indicting top FIFA officials on corruption charges just days ago. After one round of voting, Blatter did not have the 2/3 majority that he needed to win, but before the second round, his opponent withdrew.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
It was another down day on the markets. The Dow dropped 115 points, the Nasdaq lost 28, and the S&P fell 13. Google is wrapping up its annual developers conference with some major features coming to Android devices later this year. It includes changes like unlimited storage for your pictures and video, navigation that works even when you lose service, and more options for paying with your phone. GoPro is taking action videos up a whole new notch. The camera company is teaming up with Google to create virtual reality videos. The 360-degree camera rig holds 16 GoPro cameras. Users can then post their virtual reality videos on Google's YouTube channel. It will be available later this summer. It is the alma mater of dozens of world leaders, but has never been led by a woman until now. The University of Oxford in England has nominated Professor Louise Richardson to be its next vice chancellor. Oxford has had 271 vice chancellors in its 800-year history. They've all been men. Richardson will take her post at the start of 2016. Well, today is the last day of classes for students in Fayette County and many surrounding counties. And now, parents, the entertaining is up to you.
Oh, it's a tough job. Our Deanne Stevens is out and about today with an idea for you, and she joins us from the Breakout Games. Hey, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys, from the Breakout Games. We thought that this would be the perfect location for all of those students who are breaking out of school today. Welcome to summer, right? Jason Thompson is with us. I felt better up on the step, Jason, a little taller up there. Jason, Breakout Games, this place, from what I hear, I haven't done it yet, but from what I hear is a ton of fun for so many people.
It is, and the cool thing is that it's multi-generational. So we'll have families, grandparents, parents, and kids all playing in the same room. It's a team building exercise. It's all kinds of things, and it's a lot of fun.
What is the whole concept behind the Breakout Games? What are we trying to do, break out?
You really are. So we have doors that are locked by a magnet. Of course, we have an emergency button if you got to get out. But the goal is to find a final code. You're punching that in. If you get it right, it's going to turn green, and the door will open. You're going through a series of riddles and clues and unlocking things and putting codes in and all kinds of stuff.
Okay, so what is the group in this room doing? Because we're in the casino room.
That's correct. So this is our casino James Bond type room. So what the scenario is here that happens is that James Bond has gone missing, and you've been sent to find him, and he's left behind clues. He thought that they were on to him. The syndicate was going to get him, and so he left behind clues, and you're coming to find where they've taken him.
And this is for all age groups.
It really is, yeah. It's a little difficult, under 10 years old, but if they're with adults, they can still have fun.
Bring the whole family, enjoy the Breakout Games. Now, coming up at 4:50, we're headed to the island. There's a lot of different rooms, a lot of different places that you can break out of. There's a kidnapping room, all kinds of things, but coming up at 4:50, we are headed to the island. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at the Breakout Games. They are located, by the way, on North Ashland Avenue in Lexington. Back to you guys.
It is time now for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. It is vacation season, time to pack up the kids and the family pet and take off. But one danger of summer is being unfamiliar with a new area. Reporter Holly Furfer explains why it's important to check out your holiday spot before you get there.
Summertime and the living is easy, but sometimes unexpected hazards, especially in areas you're unfamiliar with, can ruin a vacation if you're not careful. When going to a new beach, always make sure there's a lifeguard on duty. If waters are rough, the lifeguard will know, and in some cases, a beach will be closed if it's too dangerous. So even though the ocean may look inviting, it's best to approach it with caution. Know the wildlife. If you like to hit the links, know your territory. Most golfers would have no problem going after their ball if it landed in the woods or on the water's edge. But in some cases, alligators or snakes could be lurking. So ask the attendants at the clubhouse what sort of animals hang out on the course. If you're camping, make sure you don't let your children or pets wander. Hungry animals may be sharing the woods with you. If you're the hiking sort, know the trail before you go. If you're in a park, ask the rangers or staff about the length and destination of the trails. Check to see if there might be water to drink along the way, and if not, take some for the trip. Also, try to stay on or close to the path, especially if the territory is new to you. And always remember, obey any warning signs you come across. They're there for a purpose. For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Furfer.
Researchers from around the world estimate there were nearly 15 million new cases of cancer and more than 8 million deaths in 2013. They found 1 in 3 men and 1 in 5 women around the world develop cancer. Today is May 29th, which means it's 529 College Savings Day. A 529 is a tax-advantaged college savings plan sponsored by U.S. states. But 2/3 of Americans admit they don't even know what it is. States and businesses are trying to get the word out on such plans on days like today. A number of hospitals nationwide will give babies born on this day $529 towards their college savings.